A very good morning, children. Well, in today's class of economic application, we shall take up a topic that is division of labor. Well, in today's class, we shall discuss the different types of division of labor, advantages and disadvantages of division of labor. Okay. Well, before that, a bit of a recap on what we did in the last class. Well, in the last class, we discussed about efficiency of labor, factors affecting efficiency of labor, and we also discussed why in India the efficiency of labor in India is very low, that we discussed, and we also suggested some points in improving the efficiency of labor in India. Well, that's what we studied in the last class. Today's topic, division of labor. First of all, the meaning. Okay, what do we mean by division of labor? Well, see, by division of labor, we mean specialization in work. Okay, we mean what? Division of labor, in short, it means specialization in work. Okay, in simple language, division of labor refers to the splitting up of a work into several parts and subparts, and each of these parts and subparts is been done or performed by who? By specialist. Okay, so that's the definition of division of labor. Now in this context, we're going to see the different types of division of labor. All right, well, the first is the product based division of labor. All right, what does this mean then? Well, the product based division of labor is also known as a simple division of labor. All right, now so what happens in this kind of division then? Well, see, under it, under the so-called product-based division of labor, everybody, that means the workers I'm talking about, the laborers I'm talking about here, everybody performs a particular occupation. Okay, particular occupation. The entire work is done by who? Done by the same person. Okay, I mean, right from the processing, everything, there's no every part of the work is done by what? By a single person. Okay, so the activity, like for example, the activities of blacksmith, the activities of say a tailor, the activities of carpenter, these are some of the examples of so-called the product-based division of labor. All right, then we have the second type of labor, which is also known as what? Process-based division of labor. Okay, this is the second type, that is process-based division of labor. Process-based division of labor is also known as a complex division of labor. Okay, what happens in this kind of system then? Well, in this system, the total work, the total work in just before this we talked about product based, where the single individual does the entire work, isn't it? But here in the so-called process based division of labor, in this system, the total work is been divided into small steps or processes, and each specialized function is undertaken by an individual or a group of individual. Okay, the work has been divided into many parts, small parts or processes, and each of this so-called specialized function has been performed or undertaken by an individual or a group of individual. Okay, leading to the final product. Okay, so every step has been done by different individual or a different group of people. All right, so for example, the manufacture of automobiles, in the process of manufacturing of car, one single individual is not involved in the manufacture of one car. Okay, so it's just like as I was giving you an example of blacksmith, where you say, for example, he makes a knife, for example. Okay, so the final product knife has been made by one single individual, but here in processing or in making up of a car, in manufacturing a car, so many people are involved in it. You understood? So there may be about 50 to 60 parts, for example, in one car. So many parts are there, so many parts are assembled together and made one car. So each of these parts are being made or manufactured by different labors. Okay, and finally one product has been there is one final outcome or one product, that is the car. So each of this, so to as I said, for the manufacture of car, you require so many specialized workers, and the final product is your car. So one car is not been produced by one single worker. So many labors are involved here. Okay, next is the horizontal division of labor. Okay, now let us try to understand this concept. What does it mean then? Well, see, when the division of production is divided into different parts in such a way that this different parts of process can run simultaneously, then it is called horizontal division of labor. Okay, now let's try to understand this concept with the help of an example. Okay, so the division of work among the workers engaged in the production of car is a very good example of horizontal division of labor. All right, now here what happens is that the work as I said just before this, when you in the process of producing a car, so many the work has been divided into parts and subparts, and each of these parts and subparts are performed or done by different workers. So but this work can be done simultaneously together. Means so many parts are engaged, I mean so many parts are required to make one product car, isn't it? But each of these parts can simultaneously be produced. Okay, some can be engaged in the production of tires, some can be engaged in the production of wipers, some can be engaged in the production of steering, like that. So many parts are there, but each of these parts can be produced simultaneously by different workers. You understood? So and at the end, when all of these parts are manufactured separately by different workers, at the end all these parts can be assembled together and produce a car. A car can be manufactured. Okay, so simultaneously the work can be done. So this kind of system is called what? Horizontal division of labor. Now we have just the opposite, that is the next type is what? The vertical division of labor. Now in vertical division of labor, what happens is that the successive stages of production of a commodity is called what? Vertical division of labor. Okay, what is the meaning of vertical division of labor? The successive stages of production of a certain commodity is called vertical division of labor, where manufacturing of cannot be done simultaneously. Okay, I mean each and every parts cannot be, like in case of horizontal division of labor, what we saw is that in the manufacture of car, that's an example, no? In manufacturing of car, in the manufacturing of car, different parts of the car can be manufactured simultaneously. It can go on simultaneously, can produce, and finally you can take out the product, that is the car. But in case of vertical horizontal of labor, different parts cannot be manufactured simultaneously. Okay, like for example, say to produce a cotton textile, first what you have to do is that first raw cotton has to be processed, isn't it? It has to be processed and it has to be transformed into a yarn by spinning, isn't it? First the raw cotton has to be processed or transformed into a yarn by spinning. Okay, and then after that what happened? The yarn has to be woven into a cloth. So weaving and spinning cannot be done simultaneously here. Just like in case of automobiles, what you could do is different parts could be manufactured simultaneously, but in case of in case of producing a cotton textile, you cannot produce or manufacture this separately. You cannot do the spinning and weaving together. You understood? Okay, so that's what is known as vertical division of labor, where you cannot manufacture things simultaneously. Like for example, as I said, to produce cotton textiles, so many processes are involved, but this processes has to take stage by stage or step by step. You cannot carry on simultaneously. Okay, so that's called vertical division of labor. Now the next is the international division of labor. Okay, now see, what does it mean then? See, no country in the world can produce everything that they require themselves, isn't it? In one way or the other, they are dependent upon other countries. Yes or no? So no country in the world can produce everything that they require themselves. They produce what they find advantages to produce, and the rest what do they do? The rest they import it from the other countries of the world. Okay, so therefore different countries, they concentrate in the production of different goods and services. You understood? They concentrate in the different countries are there, and each of these countries, they concentrate in the production of different goods and services. Okay, so this is called what? International division of labor. All right. Okay, the next is geographical division of labor. All right, what does this mean then? See, the production of a geographical division of labor. What does this mean? It means that the production of a particular commodity in a particular region or an area. Okay, so once again, the production of a particular commodity in a particular area or a region is known as what? Geographical division of labor. Alright, for example, the concentration of cotton textiles in Mumbai, or the production of sugar in UP, or the production of jute in West Bengal, etc. These are called, so-called geographical. Each of these states, they concentrate in the production of they're specialized in the production of this kind of products, isn't it? So this is called what? Geographical division of labor. All right. Well, so that's what these are the different types of division of labor that we discussed right now. Now we will see the advantages. What are the advantages of division of labor? In division of labor, what we saw is that the work has been divided into different parts and subparts, and each of these parts and subparts has been performed by different workers or labor, isn't it? So what is the advantage of this that we're going to see now? Okay, first is, what we see is that in case of division of labor, we see that a right man is at right place. In what way then? See, since the work has been divided into, as I said, many parts and subparts, each worker can be given the work according to their taste and preferences. Okay, well, then the second advantage is increase in the efficiency of labor. Obviously, see, if the worker goes on performing the same work day by day, every month, every year, then what happened? In a course of time, he becomes specialized in that field, and not only that, he gains what? Efficiency in that work that he is doing. Okay, so efficiency of labor or a worker can also be increased in case of division of labor. All right. Next is saving of time and tools. Yeah, see, division of labor saves both time and tools that they use for the process of production. See, it not only reduces the time period required for completing a particular work, but at the same time there is a better use of tools and implements also. Okay, like for example, in case of division of labor, since each part of the work is done by different worker, so it is not necessary that you give him the whole set of tools for him to work, So you can give him only a part of tools that he requires from the whole set. So that way what happens is that, there will be a better use of tools also. You understood? There will be no wastage, and at the same time, we also see that time is also been what? Saved a lot. Why? Because it requires less time period to produce a particular product. Okay, well, that's it. Now the next advantage is production of superior goods. Yes, now see, since the product due to the division of labor, as I said, that they become so specialized and so efficient in producing that product, that the worker slowly, in course of time, the worker becomes expert in his work. You understood? He becomes expert in the field of his work. Therefore, what happened? Best quality of the product is produced. All right. Okay. So the next is invention. Yes. Now see, under division of labor, there is a lot of possibilities of invention. In what way? In the method of production, or in the technique of production. Since a worker does that work every day, so what happens is that sometimes a new ideas may come up in his mind, that he can utilize in producing a particular thing. So what we notice is that under division of labor, there is a possibility of new methods and new technique of production getting invented. Okay. Right. The next advantage is less cost of production. Yes. See, division of labor encourages production on a very large scale. So when the production takes place in a very large scale, so what happens is that the cost of production also goes down. What happens when the cost of production goes down? Things or goods will be available at a cheaper rate. isn't it? Okay, so that is advantages for from the consumer's point of view also. Okay, the next advantage is increase of mobility of labor. Okay, see, the division of labor makes the worker professional in his field of work, which ultimately leads to what? Occupational mobility. Okay, the next advantage is cooperation among the workers. Yes, division of labor, it develops a sense of cooperation among the workers. Okay, why? Because they depend upon each other. Because if they do not, if they do not cooperate among each other, then they cannot complete the work. So the sense of cooperation gets developed in the division of labor. All right. Well, the next point is advantage to the society. Yes, now how is the division of labor advantageous to the society? Then see, division of labor, it causes rapid economic development in the country, and at the same time the whole society is what? Benefited out of it. Okay, how? Because more and more when the work has been divided into parts and subparts, you require more workers, isn't it? So what happens is that more employment opportunities will be generated. Therefore, and not only that, even people get to enjoy a variety of goods, since not only goods, cheap goods rather. Okay, because in division of labor, a large scale production takes place and cost of production goes down, as I said last time in the last class also. So what happens is that cheap and good commodities are made available in the market. So the people get opportunity to enjoy cheap and rather say best goods in the market. Okay, and which in turn helps to increase their what? Standard of living. Okay, and not just that, even less skilled people or disabled people, they find work according to their what? Suitability. You understood? Okay, so more and more people gets an opportunity to work and get employed. Okay, so these are some advantages of division of labor to the society. Society is also benefited a lot. Okay, now we will see the disadvantages of division of labor. Okay, now the first disadvantage of division of labor is monotony of work. Okay, now see, under division of labor, what happens is that the constant and repetitive nature of work, the same work, you have to do every day, every month, every year, you go on doing the same work again and again. What happens is that it becomes very monotonous. You get bored. So under division of labor, work becomes very what? Monotonous and boring. Okay, right. The second disadvantage is lack of responsibility. Yes, now see, since so many workers are involved in the production unit, so what happens is that the sense of responsibility will not be there. If you are alone doing a particular kind of work, then what happens is that the sense of responsibility comes in like if something goes wrong or whatever, you are responsible for that. No, but under division of labor, so many people are engaged in producing one thing. So what happens is that if something goes wrong also, you feel that you will not be held responsible or something like that. So what happens is that that sense of responsibility vanishes. Okay, in case of what? Division of labor. That's one of the disadvantage. All right, the next is increased dependence. Yes, see, under division of labor, as I said, the work is being divided into parts and subparts. So what happens is that and each of these parts and subparts are performed by different workers. So it leads to unnecessary dependence upon each other. Okay, like for example, in garment, let's take an example of garment factory. In garment factory, suppose a worker who is engaged in one part, that is say in the cutting part, if he is absent from his work, then what happens? The worker who is engaged in stitching, buttoning, etc. will suffer. So you see, so division of labor leads to what? Unnecessary dependence. Okay. Well, the next disadvantage is lack of mobility. Yes. Now see, under division of labor, since you are specialized only in one field of, not one field of work, one part of the total work, in fact. Under division of labor, you're not specialized in one total field of work, but you are specialized only one part of the total work. So in case, like right now, we're having pandemic and all, so you are unemployed. So if you are trying to find a job elsewhere, it is very difficult to find you a job, because why? You are specialized only in one particular part of the whole work. So it is very difficult to find the same level of work which you are doing in one factory in another factory. So there will be a lack of mobility. You cannot easily move on or migrate from one factory to another factory like that. Okay, all right. So that's one of the greatest disadvantage of division of labor. And okay, then what are other fears that division of labor can create then? Well, that is the fear of overproduction. Okay, now see, under division of labor, what happens is that since production takes place in a large scale, remember one of the advantage I told you over, in the advantage section I told you that one of the advantages of division of labor is that production takes place in a large scale and all, no, but that also has disadvantage. You know why? Because when the production takes place in a large scale, there is always a fear of what? Fear or a danger of overproduction. If there is overproduction in the market, then what will happen? The supply of the goods will be more than the demand in the market. Okay, so there's always the fear of overproduction in case of division of labor. All right. Okay. So so these are the advantages and disadvantages of division of labor that we saw. Now we are going to see some limitations to adopting. Limitation of adopting division of labor. Okay, what are those? What are such limitations then? Briefly we will see. See, first of all, division of labor cannot be adopted when the size of production is very small, because when the size of production is very small, then accordingly what happens? Small number of employees will be employed, small number of labor will be employed, isn't it? When the small number of worker or labor is employed, then there is no scope for division of labor. All right. Okay. And again, division of labor will not be possible. It will not be possible when the workers do not cooperate among each other. In division of labor, cooperation among the worker is very important. Okay, but if they do not develop the sense of cooperation, then division of labor cannot be possible, because there are so much in division of labor, so much of interdependence is there. So if you do not cooperate among each other, then division of labor cannot be adopted. Okay, and finally, when other factors of production like say land, capital, etc. are available only in a very limited extent. You understood? If other factors, you have plenty of labor, but other factors of production like land, capital, etc. are available to a limited extent, then division of labor cannot be what? Adopted, or economically it will not be viable to adopt division of labor. Okay, well, I think we're going to stop here today. In today's class, what we discuss is what is division of labor, advantages, disadvantages, and we also saw the limitation in adopting the division of labor. Okay, in coming up class, we shall take another topic. Till then, stay safe.